All righty. So just so you all know, I am recording the meeting too. So this is an opportunity for us to share this with others that couldn't attend. So again, welcome to the Career Resources, Handshake, LinkedIn, and More Oh My webinar. And thanks again for joining. We're so excited to put this out there. So what we'll do today is talk a little bit about Handshake in particular. This is a UCCS specific resource that you have access to. I'll do a quick demo and how to complete your profile to the best of your ability and knowledge based off of what you have going on now. Then we'll kind of transition over to LinkedIn and talk about some of the underutilized tools. I'll also do a demo of this and talk specifically about LinkedIn Learning, which is an amazing resource you have access to because you're a UCCS student. We'll talk a little bit about some national resources that exist that are important for you to know. And then we'll talk about some specific web resources that we've built here in the Career Center. So that's kind of our agenda today. And please don't hesitate to stop me at any time with questions and we'll get those answered. So what I'm hoping for now is a little bit of engagement from you. So if you could share what you're kind of hoping to get out of this webinar, if you could put that into the chat, that would be great. And I'll give us about 30 seconds to a minute here to answer. So what are you hoping to get out of this? Awesome. Thanks, Noelle, for sharing. So more knowledge about Handshake, best ways to utilize these platforms to connect with employers. That's awesome. We'll definitely do that today. Ethan said the same thing. It's awesome. James said a better understanding of how to set up a Handshake and LinkedIn profile. Awesome. We're definitely going to do that. Anything else? How to approach the first steps of Handshake and LinkedIn. Thanks for sharing, Joanna. So these are all things we're definitely going to get to today and talk about. And there'll be an opportunity after the webinar to connect with us in the Career Center to dive even deeper in. So if we don't get to every single thing that you're looking for, please know we're here to support you. So let's kind of dive in. All right, so let me talk a little bit about what Handshake is. So Handshake is your one-stop career shop resource on campus. This is where companies post jobs and internships for UCCS students specifically. We actually vet these employers and these opportunities, so you can feel good that these are companies and organizations that you should consider. There's truly job and internships for every student. What we mean by that is it's not just a business school resource. It's not just an engineering school resource. This is for all students, and there are all types of opportunities that exist on here in all industries. So the last I checked, we had close to 2,400 job and internship postings specifically for UCCS students. So that's really cool. Those are for you. We also post career events that are happening on campus, whether this is virtual career fairs, hosted info sessions by employers where they talk a little bit about their company. We also are doing office hours where employers can kind of put their time out there, and you can connect with them one-on-one to learn about their organization or just ask them some career questions. So these are just a few ways to engage with Handshake and why it's just an amazing resource. I'm going to tell you a little bit more. So again, it's very focused on you as the individual and job seeker based off what you want. You have access to all sorts of great resources. It's really personalized. So I think you'll find a lot of value in it. So here's kind of the reason why we moved to Handshake way back in March. And I know March feels like a long time ago because of the pandemic. But what this did is this gave us access to over 400,000 employers across the United States and globally. All of your big companies, all the Fortune 500 in there, but as well as many of the smaller nonprofits, local businesses, the organizations that you might be interested in, and everything in between. So whether you're looking to target a big company, a medium-sized company, a small organization, a nonprofit, a for-profit business, we're going to have those opportunities for you. So it's just one of the really cool things that helps us get access to more opportunities for you. Again, there's all sorts of industries. This isn't targeted towards one industry or area. So whether that's business or technology or working for a creative organization or working in the humanitarian space, science, government, NASA, and working for organizations, for-profit companies like Boeing that support NASA. Those are the types of employers that are going to be in here. So pretty cool access. So the other cool thing is that employers do searches on you as a student. So after you make your profile, make it public for employers to connect with, those vetted employers that I talked about earlier can actually reach out to you. So there are over 250,000 searches by employers each month searching for students. And that's where they're looking for you specifically. So just like you might get reached out to on a site like LinkedIn, which we'll talk about today, you will also get that same potential reach out on Handshake. And again, what the beauty is, you can feel good about that connection because these are employers we've looked at. So really cool way to get access. This number probably has risen, to be honest, because of the pandemic. More recruiting is being done online. So now we're going to do a quick demo, and I'll show you a little bit about Handshake. All right. So first, to get access to Handshake, all you have to do is head to the Career Center website, which is career.uccs.edu, and maybe one of my colleagues can put that in the chat just so you have access to it. And you come down here on the left, and you'll see a button that says Handshake. So this is the way to get connected. So you'll click on that, and then it'll take you to a single sign-on page where you will just sign in with your with your UCCS username and password. So pretty simple. So all of you as current students have an account. Nothing you have to worry about. Also, before I forget, you don't lose access to this when you graduate. So this is something you actually keep access to as alumni. Something we're really proud of. So now that you log in, you're going to make a profile. This is one of our student employees, Eden, and she has given me permission to use her profile so you can kind of see what she's done. So this may look really similar to LinkedIn in a lot of respects. So you'll put a little bit about who you are, your journey. Think your elevator pitch. This is a chance to say, okay, this is who I am and what I'm looking for and some of my background. You'll put of course, you'll confirm that your education looks right. You'll put any work and volunteer experiences that you have. So you can do a lot of copying and pasting from resumes. You can put any student organizations or extracurriculars you're involved in, courses that you're taking here at UCCS, and any projects that maybe you've worked on in class that you are really proud of. Over here on the left, you can put things in like skills you've gained through coursework, work, and any other means. You can put information in about what you're looking for. So that's what your interest is. So are you currently on the job hunt? What are the interests you have? What cities are you considering? What are the roles that you're going to look for? This really helps the employer really kind of target you. So that's what the profile looks like, and we're here to help you craft that to the best of your ability. So if you're having some trouble kind of figuring out the best way to sell yourself, please come in. We're here to do that with you. So this looks really similar to some of the other sites that you would use, including LinkedIn. So you can do a lot of mirroring of content in terms of who you are and what you're doing. And then some of the best parts on this site is actually looking at jobs. So you can kind of see what's available and what's out there. So when you do this search here, this brings up everything in the system. So there's almost 3,000 jobs currently on the site for UCCS students. So that's a lot, right? I don't want you to feel like you have to venture through all of that. That's probably too much to consider. So over here on the left, you can do all sorts of filters. Okay, so you can put things in like, I'm looking for full-time work, paid roles only. I am specifically looking in the healthcare industry, and I really want to do counseling. And there's other things you can put on here as well. So I just got that 3,000 jobs search down to actually 16 that better fit what I'm looking for, right? So if you click on an opportunity over here on the right, it'll give you a little information on the role, what they're looking for, kind of some of the qualifications that you might meet or not meet, and then how to apply. So this is how it'll either take you to a site externally that they want you to apply at, or it'll actually just have you apply right through Handshake. Totally depends on the company. So that's just one thing that you'll use within this system here. You can save searches so that every time you come back in, you don't have to re-put all of those filters in, as well as you can actually set up opportunities for you to be sent emails when certain opportunities fit your criteria, right? So that way of getting engaged and not feeling like you have to log in every time is always really helpful. The other cool thing is if you're targeting a very specific company, you can favorite that company on the site, and anytime they do something on the site, you'll get notified. So if they post a new job, if they've registered for a virtual career fair that we're hosting, you will know that immediately. So just one of the cool things about the site. The other thing that I want to share is events. So this is where you can actually see what things are going on campus around events. Now, everything's virtual for the most part right now, so that'll be important for you to know. But as you can see all sorts of events, including this webinar series that you're in today. So please take a look at this. If you want to target down, like I don't want to look at the whole list of events, I just want to look at what career fairs are coming. You can click that and you can see what things are available. One of the coolest things that we've done is we have connected with the other CU campuses, including Boulder and Denver, and you can attend any of their virtual career fairs. So that's why you'll see things like CU Denver, virtual career fair. So if you find an opportunity to connect into that career fair, you can do that. That's why we've set up that agreement. Pretty cool thing we've done to kind of make sure we're sharing across the system. So that's kind of all I'm going to show you on Handshake. But please let us know if you have any questions. So please throw those in the chat or leave or wait to the end and we'll get to those. And I did see a question from Noel, so I promise I'll get to that here at the end of the presentation, if that's okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. So remember, LinkedIn is, for those that don't know, is a professional networking site that's used very widely across almost all industries, all areas, and across the world. It really is probably the #1 networking site that exists out there. And there's all sorts of stats. I love stats. It's a great way to prove that things work and things are happening. So you'll see kind of a quote there on the left. Keeping your profile up to date makes you 18 times more likely to be found in searches by members and recruiters. So that's awesome. And then if you go to the right and you look at the infographic there, it's kind of talking about the same thing. It's really selling the concept that that if you engage on the site and use it, it can yield results in terms of connections with recruiters and people in your network. And I'll show you a little bit on that when I do my demo. Another stat is that, and this is probably, this number continues to rise, that 90% of recruiters regularly use LinkedIn within their job. So that means they are sourcing candidates by using LinkedIn. So it's just really, and this is all industry, so this is really a can't miss opportunity to engage with it. So now I'm going to do a little bit of a demo. I'll kind of show what a good profile looks like, and then talk about how to maybe get connected to our alumni that are out there doing work in fields that you might be interested in. So I'm going to go back to my screen here and show you a little bit about LinkedIn. So the first thing you'll notice about LinkedIn is that it looks really similar to sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in that there's a news feed. So this is where people in your network are posting things that are going on, right? So you'll see in my network, this person's posting a job at their university. You'll see other people post articles, or you'll see people that have done presentations and they want to talk about that. So think Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and put that into more of a professional context. That's really what this is. So if we go to my profile, you'll see that it looks really similar to the Handshake profile. So it's going to have things like the about section. So remember, 30-second commercial or 30-second elevator pitch. What's a few things you want people to know about you professionally if you only had 30 seconds. You can put work experiences. You can put, of course, your education, skills. So again, sounds very similar to the Handshake profile. People can write recommendations about you. So this is kind of cool. So this was a previous supervisor that wrote a little bit about me. I have written 3 recommendations about colleagues of mine. So that's cool. Accomplishments. So this is courses I've taken that might be relevant in my industry or what I'm doing. And these are interests I have. So these are kind of pages I follow and things that I have out there. So what's cool about LinkedIn is that they actually have a step-by-step process to build your profile to make it really easy to do. And it'll give you kind of a percentage of how complete your profile is. So it'll say, you've got a 85% profile completion. Here are ways to get it closer to 100. So they really have made it pretty easy for you to manage that and build on that. So don't reinvent the wheel here. You can do a lot of copying and pasting between your resume, your Handshake profile, and your LinkedIn profile. They really can look pretty similar, to be honest. All right, so next I'm gonna show a little bit about how to find alumni from UCCS and how to search for them based off industry or where they work or what they do. So this is probably one of my favorite parts about the site. So the first thing you do is you can go in and type the school, which is University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, and you'll click on that. It'll pull up a UCCS page, which just has lots of good information, but where I want to take you over here is to the left, where you can click on the alumni button, and it takes you to the alumni portal. Again, this is one of my favorite parts of LinkedIn. So what this has is there's over 42,000 alum on LinkedIn from UCCS. That's pretty cool to think about how big your network is. And what this has is it has it broken down by where they live, where they work, what they do, what they studied at UCCS, and what they're skilled at. So you can do searches on anything. So say you wanted to see, are there any alumni that work at Facebook? We do that search. We actually see that we have 7 alumni that work at Facebook. And down here at the bottom, those are our 7 alumni. This tells you what they do at Facebook, when they potentially graduated from UCCS. And what you can do is actually reach out to them and ask, I would love to learn about your path, or I would love to learn about this field, or I'd love to learn about Facebook as a company, and what do you like about working there? What I always tell students is, I always ask, what do people love to talk about most? And it's themselves. So that's all you're really asking them to do. And you will occasionally, not get a response from someone, but, I encourage you to reach out and engage in that. So it looks like Lisa also just put in the chat that you can join the UCCS alumni LinkedIn page, which is another way to find even probably more connections within the UCCS alumni community. So that's kind of a quick insight that you guys are getting right now by listening to this webinar. So thanks, Lisa, for putting that in. So that's all I'm going to show you on LinkedIn for now. There's so much more you can do on the site. And my one piece of advice is to start putting this into your daily schedule that you check every day, because the biggest mistake students make is they make a profile and they don't look at it again for 6 months or a year, right? So, if you look at Facebook every day or Instagram every day or any site, add this in. So something I do is I check LinkedIn every morning when I get to work just for 5 minutes. It just helps me understand to know what's going on within my network. Looks like Lisa just asked, it's important for students to be on LinkedIn and Handshake. Yes, I would be on both. Handshake, remember, is very specific to UCCS and companies that recruit here. LinkedIn is going to give you a little bit of a broader reach in terms of your networking and potential opportunities. So LinkedIn National, UCCS, very much focused on UCCS students and employers that recruit our students. So I would definitely be on both. Good question, Lisa.
Yeah, Danny, I would just also remind students to not use their Facebook photo as their LinkedIn profile picture. I do see a lot of those kind of coming down the pipe, you on the beach holding your cat or something like that. So think about a professional photo. It doesn't have to be technically a professional photo, but one that you would want employers to see.
Yes, and employers totally do searches when they're recruiting students. So they will go and see if they can't find your LinkedIn, even if you haven't connected with them, if you're in their application process. So make sure that the LinkedIn and Handshake are both professional. I would put them into the same category. All right, and LinkedIn Learning. This is one of my favorite resources that is totally underutilized by students, staff, everyone here at the institution. So LinkedIn Learning gives you access to a large majority of trainings around a variety of topics. And I'm talking any type of topic. So say you wanted to take a really basic course in coding. You can do that on LinkedIn. Say you wanted to take a course on what I'm calling now power skills, which are skills that are transferable to every industry. So how to communicate well, how to present virtually. Those are all potential training sessions that are offered through LinkedIn Learning online. And they are free, and they are typically pretty short. They are less than an hour. Most of them are less than an hour in length, and they can be done there at your own speed. So it's not like a course in terms of someone's actually presenting to you. It is all online training, meaning you can access the content at any time. So this is a really great way to upskill as you consider the jobs and internships you're potentially applying for. So if you see that you're kind of lacking in a certain skill set, go get some training on it. And actually what's cool about once you finish the training, it goes onto your LinkedIn profile so that people can see that and know that you've taken that course. So just one other way to engage with LinkedIn. Just amazing resource. If you have any questions on this, we're totally happy to walk you through it and engage you. So some national resources that exist out there. There's a resource called Career One Stop, which is just amazing. It has resume examples. It has it has if you're transitioning between careers, how to best sell that. It is really kind of a really great national resource. There's professional associations in every single field and industry. So get connected to those, because as students, you can typically sign up for those for either free or very cheap. So really great way to get connected into an industry. And then there's great national resources like Indeed.com, which is a job and internship board nationally. Glassdoor.com is a great way to see what types of questions you might be asked in an interview for a specific company. It also can give you some salary information. So some really good stuff there. So please take advantage of that. And I see Noelle just put in the chat probably about LinkedIn Learning that they present in short 5-minute segments. So it really makes it easy to follow. So just a great way to go back to our LinkedIn Learning as a great resource you have access to. It sounds like Noelle's had some good experience there. So that's awesome. So we have some very specific resources that we have built here at UCCS. We have built a career video library through our YouTube page on our website, and it has every webinar we've done since March, as well as some other content, including employer spotlights and some other content. So a really cool way to go back and see if you've missed something. You can still learn and engage from it and access it at any time. We also started a career blog, which you can connect to from our website, which is just another digestible way to kind of read content around job and internship search specific stuff, particularly that's really relevant to what's going on now. So those are really great resources for you to engage in. So some key resources for you to know and key takeaways. So first, make your Handshake profile. We hope you do that immediately after this. Remember, you already have an account. All you have to do is log in with your UCCS password and email and start filling out that information. LinkedIn, we hope you start using that. They also have a good list of companies that are hiring or not hiring because of freezes because of the pandemic, so you can learn some of that information. There's some other good national resources around the same concept of who's having furloughs, who's not, who's actually hiring, who's not. So those are good. And ultimately, we would love to engage you in a one-on-one conversation through your individual job search, whatever that means, or graduate school prep, or whatever you might be looking for post UCCS. So please reach out to us. You can do that via Starfish, setting up an appointment, or just email our front desk at the careers@UCCS, and we are ready to help you and engage you. We have a group of career coaches that are excited to do that. So a couple more webinars in this series before I open it up to questions. So on October 27th, we'll do a Avoiding the Job Search Panic During the Pandemic. So how to job search during these kind of interesting different times. And then on November 10th, we'll have a panel of recent alumni talking about things they wish they would have known before graduation. So, the hearing straight from the source about what that transition to work's been like, what work is like, how to get promoted, how to engage in those environments, and how to engage in the virtual environments, which a lot of people are working in right now. So that will be a few more things, a few more topics for you to consider. We hope you consider attending. So we'll kind of end with questions. I'm going to go back up to Noelle's to make sure I get to that first, but please put any others in the chat and we will get to that. So Noelle asked, what can you use Handshake for if you plan on going into the government, National Park Service, or other entities that have their own application website that are required to use sites like usajobs.gov, which is a great question, Noelle. So these same government entities that you just mentioned, they post their jobs and internships in Handshake as well, and it'll link you back to usajobs.gov or whatever site that they use that they're required to use. So you will still see government agencies, governmental departments, and those post here. They'll just probably have you apply externally to their sites. So that's a really good question. So it doesn't hurt to check both places, because sometimes you might learn about an opportunity that you didn't see. You might have saw one on Handshake that you didn't see when you did your searches on usajobs.gov. So really, really good question, Noelle. So Joanna asked, do you recommend commenting on LinkedIn posts by other people? Yes. So I would be an active bystander. A better way to put it is I would not be a bystander using LinkedIn and other social media sites. If you're going to use it, be active in it. You can post on comments around an article that's relevant to your industry. You can post articles yourself that you think are interesting or you want to start a conversation. So the more active you can be on these sites, the better. And people notice that. So recruiters will notice that, and they may look into that and say, wow, this person really is engaged in their industry and really wants to think about what's the next step within the field. So I definitely would engage on LinkedIn and be active on it. Same way with other sites as well, but LinkedIn will be the most professional. So Lisa asked, does your office do practice virtual interviews? We absolutely do. That's become a really big, important piece in the virtual recruiting game, which has changed since March. So we can do practice interviews over Zoom or Teams or WebEx, and make sure you know how to prepare for those, but then also what does the actual experience look like. So yep, we're definitely here for you to do that. Anything else? Awesome. Well, thanks so much. It's right at 5. Our goal was to do 30 minutes or less so that you can get about your day, but we're so excited that you engaged with us, and thanks for attending. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we are here to help. I'm also going to put my email in the chat, so do not ever hesitate to reach out, and we are here to support you. So thanks so much. I'll stay on for a few minutes if anyone has any questions and wants to chat. Otherwise, we'll build off from there. Thanks so much for joining the first edition of our Senior to Alumni webinar series.